a 10, 20, 30, 40-day grape fast is perfect. How do you do that? You just go to the store and buy you a shitload of grapes. And the red ones and the black ones are the best. And you eat them, and you can eat as much as you want and as often as you want. How about that? So it's not really a fast. You're going on a fruit diet, or I'm going on a grape diet. Fasting is really water fasting, I think. I love the 40-day grape fast, but whatever time you can do, I suggest that start out with a 3-day fast. I'm going to do 3 days grapes, and you just go buy grapes, and you just eat grapes as often as you want, and as much as you want. You don't have to go hungry, as often as you want. Don't try to get bloated and full, but eat what you want. And you can eat them all day long. I don't care how much you eat. But it's what you eat that's everything to this. You could go a 3-day grape fast like that, grape diet like that, and then come off and then add more fruit to that, and then come back and do a longer one. Or after when you start fasting, it's obvious. For those that have done this before, after the second or third day, you're good. You can make it past the second day. For most cases, you're good, and especially after the third. The first 2 days, it's a yanker. The first days are real yanker because your mind is going, I need food. And your emotions, I need food, because they're alone in the field. You're controlling this now. The mind is out of control. The emotions are out of control. You're in control, because you need that self-discipline to fast. You can't fast generally without self-discipline. And that self-discipline pulls you back away from the mind and into the self a little bit. So the mind and emotions, they're craving the things that you've been eating. They still want that. The body's, where's my stuff? Even though what you're doing is going to fix all of these bodies. For those of you that are in serious trouble, 100% raw is essential. Get rid of the vegetables is also essential. And living on fruits, berries, and melons. As you take away and you become more mono, it becomes more powerful. So, as George was saying, I lived 6 months on oranges. Very powerful program. But my body, I can only tell you that I realize that when you mix all these different types of food, it confuses the body. The body, everything digests, has its own energy, its own digestive time, everything. Everything is uniquely individual. So most animals only eat one food source at a time. Cows just eat the grass. When they're done with that, if they find anything else, they generally don't eat too much else. So fasting is a way that you save lots of digestive energy. You don't have the chemical residues produced by all these foods that the body doesn't want. You don't have all the acid-forming foods. So everything is alkaline-forming when you're doing this. Everything is hydrating when you're doing this. And it just takes time as one replaces the other, as one just balances out. It just takes time. The key essential is the kidneys. Water fasting, always recommend you do depends how long you're going to fast on the water again. But I highly recommend that you do fruits a few days before you do a water fast. What I prefer is a week of raw first, 3 days of fruits, and maybe one day of just one fruit, like grapes, if you're going to go on a 10-day water fast or more. I know they've been doing 43-day water fasts in Costa Rica. I don't know. It's hurt a couple people, but it's enough to say you want to fast later and get up into the high fruit, berry, and melon diet sooner. That's as close to fasting as you can get. It is mostly all you need. You don't need the water fastings, but sometimes it's great to do them. I love them. They really do pull deep in the body when you water fast. And if you've never done that, work yourself up to a raw food diet, then to a fruit diet, and then just one day, just all fruit or two, and then go into a 3 or 4 day water fast and feel the astringent nature of fasting. When you break a fast, what do you break a fast with? Always fruits, berries, or melons. One of the three. You never break a fast with cooked food. You never break a fast with vegetables. Not smart. The less energy you burn in digestion and burning of foods, your body uses to clean itself and heal itself. And we've talked about this many times, where when you eat too much at Thanksgiving or Christmas or something, you feel like you have to go to sleep. And it just shows you that when you consume dead food or too much food, there's so much energy required to deal with this that you just want to go to sleep while your body's energy is right here in the digestive tract. You'll never get well doing that. You'll never get rid of tumors doing that. You just can't do that. So you can see that when you start fasting, you've got to understand what's happening. Your lymph is starting to be pulled. If you stop in the middle of something like that, it might not be a fun time for you. So it's enough to say that if you do everything easy and nice and don't get radical, you'll be good. If you get radical with these, you can hurt yourself. So fasting is an old form, and eating just eating one food, a mono diet. Look how good you feel on a mono diet. And I would play with that. I recommend that all of you play with that. Get yourself 100% raw. See the difference between that and any cooked food. That's a big deal right there. Going, excuse me, going 100% raw versus even 20% cooked is a huge difference. If you have chronic and degenerative problems, which is a lot of you, you don't want anything cooked. Why would you have anything cooked? And the more pain and swelling and the more problems you have, tumors, get rid of the vegetables. Get up into this high level of detoxification and regeneration. Each and every one of you can start curing all these people up. Not of diseases, of course, that belongs to the MDs. Always remember that. Diseases are not a part of our repertoire. We don't even acknowledge the existence of them because they're a fallacy. They're just a set of symptoms with a medical doctor's or somebody's name on them, like Lou Gehrig's. So you just have to realize this is cause and effect. This is physics and chemistry, and no one told you you've been breaking all the laws of nature. So now you've got to get with the laws of nature and get in harmony with them, because if you don't, you'll never be happy or healthy. The baddest man wants to separate himself from nature. Sorry. No way. So I would be doing those things. Long-term water fasting, I don't know. If it's necessary, I don't know. Some of you are digging in pretty deep, and I didn't dig in as deep as I could have because I didn't have the herbs back then, and I didn't know so much about fruit fasting. Oh no, back then was carrot juice fasting. So, you guys want to know the difference? Take off on a 10-day carrot juice fast, follow that up with a 10-day grape fast and show you the difference. We were all stuck with vegetables back then because, you know, I was reading fruitarian books because they were making more sense, but there's only a very few. I think I found 2 books on fruitarianism in 3-4 years, and I looked everywhere. Wasn't there, but they made the most sense. When I go back to the Natural Hygienic Society, you had more vegetables. Well, everybody fasted on carrot juice. Jensen did 3 months up. We go, nothing. Now that I look back on that, how stupid we were. But we didn't know any better. We have burnt so much time and pavement for you guys, you can't believe it. So when you say we don't know what we're talking about, one of you guys, you have no clue. You have no clue of how many years and day in and day out through all these years, what it's took to get you this information. And you guys can take right off with it. And I can build your practices, help you build them, and take you right off. You don't have to spend all these 40-some years I have learning these things.